going to teach you how to make a nice and easy pizza direct from the dough. At the same time, I will teach you anaerobic respiration to do with yeast at GCSE level. Nice bit of revision for your exams which you got soon. And I'll also teach you circular motion at A level. Okay, first off, 0.65 liters of lukewarm water. Make sure it's not too hot, remembering that yeast is a living organism. We need it to be alive. We need it to respirate. Okay? You make the water too hot, the yeast will die, the dough won't rise. Why does the dough rise? Because when it's going through anaerobic respiration, the yeast will feed on the sugar and it will release ethanol, which will be vaporized when we're cooking, and carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide will produce bubbles inside our dough to make it nice and fluffy. 2 satchels of yeast, 1 kilogram of flour, 200 grams of semolina flour. Okay, and so basically, if you want to convert grams to kilograms, divide by 1,000. So 0.2 kilograms, or you can say 200 grams. 4 spoons of olive oil, extra virgin. 1 spoon of sea salt, but I'll just use normal salt. You know, they taste the same after you cook it. And 1 spoon of caster sugar. All right, let's start. We'll add 1 spoon of caster sugar to the water. That will be for our yeast to feed on and they'll respirate. Yeah. 1 spoon of sea salt, and now we're going to add our yeast. After about 7 minutes, it should become fluffy if it works. If it doesn't, then what that means is that our yeast has died because we made the water too hot. Okay, we're going to add some yeast into this water. Hopefully it will eat all that delicious sugar and start respirating. And we should have a lot of fluff on the top. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we'll give it a little bit of a mix, yeah, to get it all mixed up. And then we're going to add the oil. I add the oil to this mixture because, you know, the thing about it is that we do not want our yeast to do aerobic respiration. That would release carbon dioxide and water. We want anaerobic respiration. And you know the 4 spoons of oil at the top, what that should do is that should produce an airtight layer. Right? It's already starting respirating. I was worried that the water will be too hot, but it's not. It's lukewarm. Just don't make it too hot, hot enough to kill the yeast. Let's get rid of this, and we want 4 spoons of this. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'll do my stop. We're going to mix the semolina flour with the white flour. All right, it's going to give us 1.2 kilograms, and we will mix 1 teaspoon of sea salt into there. Okay, I'm not going to bother sieving this because it's already fine flour and fine semolina. Okay, let's give it a quick mix. I like the consistency anyway. Okay, gives it character. And then what we will do, give it a good mix to make it as homogeneous as possible. And then we will pour this out onto our worktop and make a volcano shape for ourselves. Okay, get as much of it out as possible. Adam, can you wash your hands and make a volcano shape? Okay, so we make a crevice inside there, and then what we will do is to this we will add the liquid. Yes, and our vase is going to pour it all over.
And then mix.
And then mix. Add, sorry, it's going all over the place.
My pillow.
I know.
Pause it. Pause it. No. Move.
We keep adding little bits of the water yeast solution. Otherwise, the water just goes everywhere, and we mix it slowly. Otherwise, what tends to happen is that the water just spills everywhere. Just like happens there, because it just takes time.
Somebody's foot going.
I know, it just goes everywhere. It's a little bit messy, but that's what we like. We want a messy pizza. Okay? We want a messy pizza. We don't want the... Okay, so we just pour in the flour and we'll give it some more of a mix to try and get dough.
I told you it looks like dough.
Yes, I know. But we need to mix. You can stop it now. I'll tell you when. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Right. Gonna knead it now into a dough. Adam, you can knead it as well with me. Knead it into dough.
Make my hand
Okay, then you don't have to. Okay, so we're gonna knead it into a dough. Okay. Right, stop.
Yeah.
Go. After you've kneaded the pizza dough, put it inside a bowl. Damp cloth inside. Leave it for half an hour to an hour, and that and it should rise. Our one will rise because the yeast was alive. You could see the bubbles from respiration. Stop. Okay, we've seen that the dough is nice and risen. That was really good yeast. We're going to flatten it out and we're going to give all of the kids a piece of dough which they will spin. And we're going to talk about centripetal force for A levels while we're doing that.
I'm going to take the food.
Okay, so Adam, here's your piece. Can you roll it out for me? And then we've got a piece for Abdurrahman. And we got a piece for Big Brother. And we got a piece for Mum. And we got a piece for Dad. I'll give Abdurrahman some more. And okay, and we give Mum some more. Alright. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna flatten it out.
Like this, flat.
Yeah, flatten it out. I like it a little bit misshapen, but don't worry. And then we're going to try and spin it. I'm not an expert at spinning it, but the thing is, as you spin it, it becomes more even because centripetal force will pull it towards the center, and the velocity will spin it round and round. But I don't know how to do it. Okay, got it. I'll try again. Right, let's see. All right. The science is correct, but the spinning the pizza can be improved. All right, let's try spinning it again. All right. Okay. All right, flatten it slightly. Let's see if I can spin it round and still I can do some improvement to my spinning technique. But if you spin it, the velocity will pull outwards and the centripetal force will pull inwards. That's the stretchiness of the dough. And what we should end up is something more even. If we're spinning it. Right, stop.
Angular speed goes by V over R, which you can see here, or 2 pi over the time period T, or 2 pi frequency F. Centrifugal acceleration is V squared over R, or angular speed over R, angular speed squared over R. And force, centrifugal force, it goes by mass times the centrifugal acceleration, which you can see here. The speed doesn't change because because the force is perpendicular to the velocity, which means there is no work done. And you can see this in the pizza, where the sides don't just fly off because of the centrifugal force acting to the center of the pizza.
Okay, done. Okay, Abdurrahman is using a Scotch bonnet base with extra mature English cheddar and some parmesan on the top. And Adam is using a pesto base with a little bit of English mature cheddar and topped with Italian parmesan. Adam's big brother is going to use naga, which is incredibly spicy. And then I don't know what cheese he wants to put on there. Abdurrahman and Adam's pizzas are done. We left it in the oven at gas mark 5 for 10 to 15 minutes. Well, Abdurrahman, what does your pizza taste like with Scots bonnet sauce?
It tastes sweet.
Okay. Adam, what does your pizza taste like? Your pesto pasta pizza.
Good.
Okay. This is Adam's big brother's naga pizza. It's too hot for me, but that's the way he likes it. This one's my one. Used the Scots bonnet sauce as a base. Put extra mature cheese and some sliced aubergines and some sliced sweet chili. It does taste quite nice, nice and mild compared to everyone else's.